What's going on, everybody? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks for the BLU Bold N2 that you might not know about. Now, in case you're wondering about this potentially familiar wallpaper, I keep joking about how this phone is basically the great value Samsung Galaxy S10, so I couldn't resist using this wallpaper. But honestly, in all seriousness, this is a really good phone, so hopefully this video will give you a better idea of what kind of features it has. Now, before we go any further, as always, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and my favorite accessories for it. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to show you is a more convenient way to take a screenshot. Now, taking a screenshot is already pretty easy as it is. All you got to do is press and hold the power key and the volume down key at the same time like this. And there we go, but I'm going to show you another way to take a screenshot that in some situations can be a little bit more convenient. Now, this feature is not enabled by default, so to do that, you're going to go to Settings. From here, go to Intelligent Assistance. And as you can see right here, 3-finger screenshot is right here at the top. Once you toggle it on, all you have to do to take a screenshot is simply swipe down with 3 fingers like this. So there we go, and you can do that from anywhere on the phone. So for example, let's go to an app, and one more time, 3 fingers on the screen and swipe down like this. And there we go. Now, another thing I do want to point out is that when you have this feature enabled, you can still take a screenshot the normal way. So as you can see, you can either go like this, and again, you can also go like this. So definitely nice to have 2 different options to take a screenshot. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called one-handed mode. As the name suggests, this basically makes the phone a lot easier to use with one hand. So to do this, we're going to go to Settings. From here, go back to Intelligent Assistance. And from this menu, go down to where it says single-handed mode. So right here. And as you can see, by default, the feature is not active, so toggle it on. And now that the feature is enabled, let me show you how to get into it. Now, the motion can be a little tricky at first, but basically to turn on one-handed mode, you're going to swipe horizontally like this. We are now in one-handed mode, and as you can see, the phone is a lot easier to use with one hand. And in case you want to use it with your other hand, all you got to do is go like this, and as you can see, the screen is now on the other side as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is a quick way to get to your camera. Now, this feature is really cool because it actually is enabled by default, and if you want to capture something really quickly in the moment, it makes opening your camera a lot more convenient. So no matter what you're doing on your phone, to get to your camera, all you got to do is double tap the power key like this, and it's going to open your camera right up. As you can see, if you have multiple different apps that use the camera, it is going to have you select one, but once you do that, you can have it either always open it, or if you want, you can have it ask you every time. So I'm going to go into an app and try that one more time. So again, double press the power key, and the camera is going to open right up. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to show and hide your battery percentage on the status bar. So as you can see right now, next to the battery icon, we don't currently have a battery percentage, but if you do want to see it up there, what you're going to do is go to Settings. From here, go down to System, and from the System menu, go to Battery. And from this menu, as you can see right here, battery percentage by default is again off, so toggle this on. And now, as you can see, the battery percentage is now on the status bar. Now, I personally really like how this looks because unlike most other phones, the percentage is actually inside the icon instead of next to it, and in my opinion, this looks a lot cleaner and more minimalistic. But if you don't want the battery percentage up there all the time, but you still want to be able to see it from time to time, you don't actually have to have it permanently up here. What you can do is keep it off, and whenever you want to see your battery percentage, all you got to do is pull down the shade like this, and as you can see, it's right here anyway. Now, while we're in the battery menu, another thing I want to talk about is the battery saver. Now, if you're ever low on battery, this is a great feature to turn on. Basically, what it does is puts your phone in more of a low power mode. So as you can see, the battery saver does put the phone in dark mode, and it's also going to limit background apps and other features to help you save more battery. Now, that being said, this feature is really cool, but keep in mind, when you don't have low battery, I don't recommend using this, because although it will extend your battery life by quite a bit, it will also hinder your performance. And when you don't need to save battery, if you're at like 90% or something like that, it's really an unnecessary thing to have on. But that being said, as you can see here, by default, the battery saver will automatically turn off when you charge up to 90%. And that's definitely a nice thing because then you won't have to worry about forgetting to turn it off. Another thing you can do is set a schedule, and keep in mind, this isn't based on time, but it's actually based on battery percentage. So if you turn this on, you can have it automatically turn off at say 5%, which I personally would have it at 20 or something like that. But as you can see, you can have the battery saver automatically turn on when you get to a certain percentage. And this definitely makes saving your battery a lot more convenient. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called adaptive brightness. What this is going to do is adjust the brightness of your display based on your environment. So if you're in a really bright area like outside in the sun for example, it's going to brighten everything up to make it easier to see. But if you're in a darker area where you don't need it as bright, it's going to dim the display to save battery and make it a little bit easier on your eyes. So to turn on adaptive brightness, what you're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to display. And as you can see, adaptive brightness is right here, so turn it on. And as you can see, the display adjusted right away. Now adaptive brightness is definitely a cool feature to have, but I personally don't really use it because I prefer to have my display at 100% brightness at all times. So really at the end of the day, it's not for everyone. It's definitely more up to personal preference, but if you haven't already, I definitely recommend giving it a try because you might end up liking it. Now while we're in the display menu, another thing I want to go over is a feature called night light. Now if you're like me and like to keep your phone at 100% brightness at all times, one drawback to this is at night especially, it might be a little bit harder on your eyes. So what the night light is going to do is help filter out some of the blue light on your display, and this is going to make it a little bit easier on your eyes. So we're going to turn it on, and as you can see, the display is a little bit warmer, and this is especially nice at night. From here, you can adjust it to make it warmer or cooler, and you can also have it turn on automatically. So if we turn this on, as you can see, you can have it go from sunset to sunrise or set a custom time. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called split screen. Now this is not for everyone. I personally am not a huge fan of it, but if you like to multitask on your phone, then this is definitely a really nice thing to know about. Now to activate split screen, there are really two ways to do it. The first way is simply by going to your recent apps, pressing and holding on the icon, hit split screen right here, and it's going to allow you to choose whatever other app you want. So now from here obviously you can do whatever you want, and when you're done with it, you can slide it either up or down, and it's going to go right back to normal. Now keep in mind, you're not going to be able to use split screen with every app. So for example, Instagram, as you can see here, there's no split screen option. So just keep in mind that while there are a lot of apps you can use with this feature, not every app is compatible. Now that being said, there is a second way to do it, and this way is a little bit more convenient, but it's not active by default. So what we're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to intelligent assistance. And from this menu, turn this feature on. So once you activate 3-finger skid to start split screen, all you have to do to activate split screen is simply put 3 fingers on the screen and swipe up like this. And now we are in split screen, so you can select whatever app you want. And then just like before, to get out of it, grab this bar here and you can either swipe down or up. So definitely a cool feature to have. Again, I personally don't really use it, but if you do like multitasking, then I'm sure it will be a useful feature for you. Now I'm going to show you a few ways you can customize your apps. So the first thing we're going to do here is press and hold a finger on the home screen like this. From here, go to launcher settings. And as you can see, we have several different options here. First of all, you can change your display layout. So if we go here, as you can see, you can choose between 5x5, 5x4, or 4x4. The other thing you can do is customize your app icons. So if we go here, you can customize any app icon you want. So for example, settings. You can choose pretty much anything, and you can also choose from your photos. So that's definitely a cool option to have that not every phone does. In addition to this, you can go to customize app name, and from here, you can change the name of any app to whatever you want. In addition to this, you can also change the specific icon size. So if we go here, as you can see, this is the default, but you can also make the apps really big or really small. So pretty simple, but definitely some cool options you don't see in every phone. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is how to make a screen recording. To do this, what you're going to do is pull down the shade twice. From here, go to screen record start. And from here, you have a few different options. First of all, you can change the audio. So by default, you can record from the microphone so you can narrate it. But if we go here, as you can see, you can also have it record device audio or the device audio and the microphone. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that whatever you select, by default, it is still going to be off. So in order to actually enable the audio, you actually have to toggle this on. The other thing you can do is show touches on the screen. So if you do this, it's going to show a cursor wherever you put your finger. Once you have everything how you want it, go ahead and hit start. There's going to be a little countdown. And now, as you can see, we are recording. And as you can see, there's the cursor right there. And now when you're done recording and you want to stop, all you have to do is pull down the shade like this and tap right here on this banner. Once you do that, it's automatically going to be saved to your photos. So as you can see, there you go. And if you want, you can also delete it from here. But this concludes my tips and tricks video for the BLU Bold N2. Again, if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some cool accessories, so definitely check that out as well. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow Kalipis Tech on Twitter and Instagram, and as always, I will see you in the next video.